is Edwin, and I am the proud owner of Edwin's Hauling Services. We are located in Loudoun County. We serve or Northern Virginia, Maryland, D.C., and we travel. We do moving. We go down. We've been all the way down in Florida, South Carolina, and yeah, we help anyone who's in need of hauling services.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, take me back. What initially drew you to kind of this world, the world of hauling? Give me a quick overview of your journey.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, I started working at the Loudoun County Landfill actually here in Leesburg. And then I worked there for about 10 years. And then I began to see people grow. Like I've seen people guys come in with a small business. Next thing you know, they're like, my goodness, so that was really cool to see within those time frame that like this is something that is possible that people do and you can grow. And I was like, okay. And so I'm behind the scenes kind of watching people, right? And so I was like, okay, well, I know a little bit of waste or what do we do? And then and then there were some circumstances 2012 where I lost that job and I was forced to really rethink my life. For a year and a half, I had no idea what I was going to do. And so I think what I would say, like, what got me into this, it was a desire to help people. I think that was it. It's like because it was something that was a transformation that happened with me. I hit a low bottom and I found myself just like devastated, broken, and I just didn't know what my life was going to be. And one of the things that I would say that my faith, where I came to faith, I came to believe in God. And I mean, that's just how it is. Came to believe that God had a better plan for me. And I think I, yeah, I asked for a new beginning, pretty much. It was a new beginning. And what do I do with my life? What's my future going to be like? And one of the things, first thing that came into mind was that it was put in my mind was you're going to go out and you're going to go help my people. That's my calling. That's what I do. What I do. It is to go be a maximum of service to anyone and everyone possible. And Edwin's Hauling Services was born out of that desire to go out and help other people and help people in need, our community. And so Edwin's Hauling Services is just a channel, a means by which I get to serve my community. And Edwin's Hauling Services it's been a year and 8 months. 2024, January 2024, as when I decided to go full time. I don't know if it was my decision because thankfully I went back. Actually, they hired me back at the Loudoun County Landfill after a while. And then I was like, I just can't do this anymore. I got to go. And so I started doing this thing on the side, right? Edwin's Hauling Services, I was doing it on the side. And then there came a point, 2023, where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I cannot be working. I need to go out and do this thing, what my calling has been. Go out. I was like, okay, I don't know if I could do this, but you're going to do it because I can't. So that's been that's where 2024 Edwin just came out and he's like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go out. And it's been a beautiful journey of learning and growing. I was like, dang it. I thought I had it figured out, but nope, there's just so much to learn. And I'm learning a lot through this business, me personally, and then what business looks like. I never, own a business. I'm like, well, I'm thinking I'm just going to go and work hard and good. No, there's more to that.
Yeah,
There's a lot more
absolutely.
to that. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
And we
thanks.
always have to be open to learning, and that's something that you are. So that's amazing. And it's
Yeah.
so beautiful how you kind of found your way into doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you mentioned how special it is to kind of serve the Loudoun County community. How does that local connection influence the way that you serve your clients?
I think I've been living in Loudoun County since 1998. So I've been here for a long time, and I feel like these are my people. This is my community. This is my home. This is where I grew up. This is where I went to school. This is where all my joys and pains are at. This community, this place has seen me at my lowest, but it's seen me on my highs. And so, but when I was at my lowest, I think in general, my family and community, they're just, there's been so much love that have been poured out to me when I was at my lowest, right? So much grace and so much love and so much help. Like people wanted to help me. There was a point where I didn't have a car. I lost my car. I was riding on a bicycle, right? I was running around and people were so willing to like, Edwin, we're gonna give you a ride. We're gonna take you over there. Strangers. And so to me, that that service or even giving back to what has been given to me, I do out of like it doesn't cost me a thing. Like it doesn't cost me. It's not like it's more like, man, I get to help people. I get to, give somebody who is walking on the side of the road and be like, hey man, you want to ride? Let's go. I'll take you wherever you want. Because somebody did that for me.
And that's the best feeling
Yeah.
to pay forward
Yeah.
the things that you've been given. It's
Yeah.
really beautiful.
Yeah.
Kind of in the same vein, what does a lasting impression look like for you when you're working with a customer? You made one on Megan. You're on you.
So I think for me, I came from a place of very low self-esteem, very quiet kid, very to myself and nervous. And even today, I experienced that, but that's not who I am. I experience some of those things, but one of the things that I like to do is like this world needs, or for me, is to bring a positive attitude towards wherever I go. One of my favorite things that I like to do whenever I go into a new client, it's like I want to go and be like, good morning, nice you, how are you? They were like, whoa, I'm not ready for that yet. Yes. But I think for me, it is the first time that I go knock on the door, a client's door, and say, good morning. How are you this morning? And I think that first impression to me is so important, right? And then comes the work and I do that. But it's the walk into a stranger's house and being like, good morning, my name is Edwin. And you're like, oh my gosh, you're the Edwin. I am that guy. And it just start that way. And so to bring light into somebody who may be struggling, especially when I help people move. It is so stressful. They are just so like overwhelmed. And then there comes this guy, good morning. And I've had people like, man, this is like, I didn't even think about moving. You made it so comfort at ease, right? That everything is okay. So that's kind of how I approach like what's my lasting impression is it's the first, hey, good morning. Good morning, Isabella. How are you? Now it wasn't like that because just but that's just to inspire others, right?
Yeah.
To live out, get out of the stress and all of that. So yeah.
And that's especially important nowadays because everything is so stressful. Not only moving, but just like the hustle of every
Yeah.
day can be so stressful. And that's something that I really took away from. I mean, you made a lasting impression on me at the Loudoun County Social Collective
Yeah.
just with your ending speech because it gave me that second to pause kind of similar to when
Yeah.
are knocking on a client's door and saying good morning.
Yeah.
They have that second to pause and think like, wow, like there are genuine, amazing humans
Yeah.
on this earth that
Yeah.
care
Yeah.
about me and care about my well-being and want to connect.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was that same thing. That's what I left with after the
Mm.
Loudoun County Social Collective event. Like just feeling like, wow, like Edwin is here to inspire, to connect, and he's a real human being that cares about other human
Yeah.
beings. And I think that real humans that care about other humans make that lasting impression. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah. Kind of going back to the Loudoun County waste facility that you
Yeah.
mentioned, what did working there teach you that you use or that you still use in your business today? A little more in depth.
I think the experience of, so when I started working there, right? So I was like 22, 23. Again, I was very quiet. I was very nervous and, anxious. And one of the things that it helped me, so in a given day, we had 300, 400 people come through the landfill. On a Saturdays, between 700 and 900 people that I get to greet. And so what that taught me was one, it was a work ethic. I need to show up, right? That was the first kind of like real job. Oh my gosh, I have benefits. I'm like, thank you. I was so grateful. And so it was the showing up every day, right? I mean, every day that I got scheduled, you're gonna show up, you're gonna go, you're gonna show up. So that was the work ethic. Since I was 14, when I started working at Burger King, that was my first job. And then you show up, you work, you show up. Um, so one of the things was like it opened myself up. Because one of the things that they emphasize is customer service, right? You're the face of the county, right? And you can't just be a grumpy old. Well, for me, that's what I thought, right? And so I was like, okay, if I'm the face, you put me here, you're paying me to greet all these people. Say, hey, good morning, welcome. What do you have? Asking them, what do you have? And being kind to people when they showed up. When somebody was new and I'd never been here. It's like, well, welcome. You're right here. I'll show you where to go. I'll tell you what to do and how this works. And it was a joy for me to do that. It was work ethic. It was showing up on time. It was getting out of myself. And I think that's important, was getting out of my own comfort, right? I have a line of people waiting for me. I'm like, if I start thinking about that line, it's like, wait, I'm going to be present for that one person at a time. And so it was that like the genuine wanting to help others, right? And that, again, that is going to help others. And how can I guide them to where they need to go? So work ethic, showing up on time, keep showing up, and friendly. Edwin's Hauling Service is one of the mottos is it's friendly, reliable, and professional. Friendly first, reliable and professional, right? Friendly. That to me was a takeaway from
Yeah, I love that.
that.
That really sticks out too. Friendly, reliable, professional.
That's right.
Because I don't know, like I think a lot of businesses miss that part.
Yeah.
Again, that like human connection. Like we
Yeah.
really all just want to connect and
That's
we all
right.
want to be friends. And I don't know, it just feels better to support businesses too, where you really like build that bond with the owner. But yeah, I wanted to ask you, is there one thing that maybe people misunderstand about junk removal or hauling that you could kind of debunk for us?
Well,
Or a few things.
when people think about junk removal, when people think about trash, right? It's something that is done. I got all this trash and it just needs to go, right? And so one of the things for me as giving back, right? I go into each job that I go is to personally go, okay, this is all trash for you, but what I see here, that can go to donation. That can have a second life. I'm going to put it separately so that I can go to donation centers here in Loudoun County and give back. It's a form of giving back. For me, I take the time and effort to go and separate those things. And Loudoun County is a blessed county. It is a rich county.
Yeah.
It's got so many. The trash from this county compared to other counties is to other places in the U.S. is it's ridiculous, right? So someone's trash is somebody's treasure. And so I like to go and find a treasure. I was given a second chance. And so I like to think that I have this item, this piece of furniture, who wants a second chance, who wants to go to a home that can't afford it. And take it to one of the donation centers and say, okay, here it is. We would gladly take it. And people go in there and buy it for so cheap at thrift stores, or they give it, I don't know. But for me, it's finding that treasure in the trash.
Yeah.
And then that I can given a second chance, right? I've been given a second chance, and I feel like some of the items deserve a second chance.
Absolutely.
So it's not all trash. There is
Yeah.
treasure in trash.
Couldn't agree more. How do you balance speed and efficiency with safety and thoroughness when you're on the job?
Yeah. So one of the things that I like to personally go, right? So I'm still that guy that goes into people's houses, okay? And that I bring a crew of guys. And one of the things that I try to tell guys before we go into a home that we're moving or doing a job, hey, here's number one, two things. Remember, your safety is number one. My guy's safety is number one. People's belongings is number two. So we need to take care of those two things. Okay. And number three is like, if you can't do it yourself, you need to ask for help. So safety for my guys, and then the people's belongings is number two. Right. Those two go hand in hand, right? I try to do my best to put safety and care for other people's items. And so efficiency, you go in there. One of the things that I like to go, if there is I need to get everything out of the house first. Like I want to empty the house first and then load it into my trailer. So I want to get out of people's house as soon as I can so that they have their space, right? Quicker. Like, okay, got it. And so for me, that's one of the things that I like to do is just make sure I get everything out first, everything that needs to come out, and then I figure out how I'm going to load it in my truck. Because I want people to be like, okay, you got your space,
Yeah.
So
That's great. And I'm
yeah,
sure that that sets you apart too,
yeah,
because I have never seen that happen. I've moved a lot.
yeah,
I've seen, my mother-in-law move. I've seen a lot of people move, and I feel like it's always the whole day, people coming in and out. And I feel bad for them too, because your crew needs your space
sure,
too. They don't want to feel like they're always like in someone's house. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. So that's great. I
yeah.
love that efficiency. That's amazing. Kind of going back to like clients, is there one client success story that perfectly reflects your mission as a business owner, or like one that really sticks with you? Or a few? It's up to you.
I don't know. There's quite a few of clients that uh, are just so grateful for the service that is provided. I had a client, actually, this is recently, a week or so. They're going through a rough time. They're splitting from their significant other, and they have kids and they have dogs and all this stuff. And she's overwhelmed with so much chaos, so much going on, and it saddens me. And so I walk in and I go in and show up and look at what she has and give her a quote. Okay, this is how much it's going to be for us. But I had a second. One of the things for me is I don't just show up to a house to do a job. To me, there's more to that connection. When I see a client or someone who's stressed and overwhelmed and sad, it's more like, hi, it's coming in and making them feel at ease, right? And so I come back, here's a quote, good to go. And we show up and God, and I start helping her pack and move. In the midst of that, I just take a few seconds, a moment to say, hey, how are you doing? How are things? Just to pause for a second. We got it. We got it. I got it. That reassurance of like, I got it. It's okay. And that gives an opportunity for a client to open up. An opportunity to say, well, it is kind of safe for me to talk about, what's going on. And so my job is to come in and make him at ease, right? And so it moved her and her belongings, and I get to go. I went back and brought her a piece of furniture that actually we broke, right? One of the parts that we do is we're going to replace it, right? We replaced that, went to got it, and we delivered a piece of furniture. But I went to talk to her, and we just sat down in the back porch of the new house, and we're having a human-to-human conversation. And that, to me, beats anything. It is to be able to connect heart to heart with another human. And to be able to do that with this client who is undoubtedly hurting and just so much going on. They just show up and be like, hey, I'm here. How are you? How are you kids? How are they doing? I saw such and such, looked like they were hurting. So that to me is it's everything. Money, whatever, comes and goes. But that human connection is it's just forever. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's so special too. I mean, I'm like tearing up because there are so many times in my life where like I have moved or like, I don't know, a few years ago I went through like a crazy breakup after 7 years with someone. And I was moving and like I was lucky to have like my mom with me helping me, but if I were all alone and I had someone like you to just sit on the porch with me and just talk, oh my gosh, that would have been just the best. It would have been so like healing for me just to have that human connection. So that's so beautiful. And I love that you do that. And that truly sets you apart. So thank you for doing that for the people of Loudoun County and just for being a good human.
Thank you.
We need more people like you, and it's refreshing to hear things like that. Yeah. This is kind of shifting gears a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice that you would give to someone who's choosing between junk removal companies or hauling services?
What I would say, right?
Besides the obvious.
Well, what I would say, if somebody is in the market, if you yourself are in need of like, well, what do I do with this stuff, right? I am getting ready to move. I'm getting ready to do this. I want to get rid of this stuff. And what I would say is there's a lot. There's a lot of us out there. There's a lot of moving companies. There's a lot of junk removal companies, right? It's easy for somebody come in, hey, $100. Well, it comes that other guy's $50. Here comes the other guy. Like, what I would say is read some testimonies, watch some videos, right? Watch what they do, right? I mean, if you have the time, right? Like, don't just go and like, okay, I'm going to go with that because that's the cheapest. Maybe that's what you want. It's the cheapest guy, right? You don't care. But if you do care, right? Do a little research. It won't hurt, right? Go watch some videos. See what people are saying about this company. And if that matters, then make that decision. Is it going to be about just who's the cheapest? Or do you want more? Doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, all you want is just get the trash out. But if you're just going to hire somebody who's the cheapest, come to your house, they break something, they don't have insurance to pay it, be careful. Cheapest isn't always cheap.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. And a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
thanks for that.
yeah.
I wanted to ask you, besides what you already touched on about your faith, how has faith played a role in guiding your business decision?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I would say, right? It was that moment, right? When I talked about I lost everything. I was an alcoholic, 10 years, crazy life. And it came a point where I believe today that God took me out of the life and gave me this new opportunity to do something different in my life. So the idea of Edwin's Calling Services came from that moment of darkness. Edwin, God, it's a gift. It didn't come from me. I never thought about owning a business. It's like, okay, you're going to do it someday. I was like, but it took me 10 years to realize, to go through some hardships, down, ups and down, driving. I mean, being on a bike for 3.5 years, like working little jobs here and there. I mean, but I feel like each of those moments, God has been with me, guiding me, each of those steps to 2024. It hasn't been like, dude, no, it's more like you're going to hit that wall, then you're going to fall, out of that bike, you're going to scrape your head. And I did.
Oh,
That's
no.
a true story. I did, because I didn't know that you had to wear, I mean,
A helmet.
that was helpful, right? I'm just going to ride. And then I was going on WD trail and I'm like going so fast, I derail and going and start spinning. I was like, from that day on, I'm wearing a helmet. So, but I guess I've had to come back to here hasn't been easy, but God has always been in that path, whether it's been up and down, but there's my guiding power, the grace and power that I received to do what I do. And also not only that, it is, I do it because it's my calling. It's just what I'm supposed to do. And if I'm doing what I think God has had me do, then I think in my life, then I enjoy it. Then I'm living my purpose. And it feels good to live out my purpose. And I'm not fighting. I'm always happy, joyous, and free.
That's the best.
Yes.
Where do you see Edwin's Hauling Services in the next 5 years?
My goodness. I oftentimes in my morning routine is prayer, writing down some affirmations, coffee, right? That's priority, right?
Mhm.
So one of the things that I do in the mornings is writing down some affirmations, right? Bro, you are unstoppable. Like, yeah, I am unstoppable. Like, I have to speak those things to me, right? So when I speak those truths about who I am and who God says I am, and also I get to those glimpses of vision where God would have me go. Where does Edwin Hauling Services go from here? One, the end of this year is to have my own moving truck, right? That's number one. That's number one. Two is the Edwin's going to become not just, it's going to be Edwin's Hauling Services and it's going to be Edwin's Moving Services. So it's going to be two identity under one umbrella, okay? And we're going to go separate. And then it is to continue to serve my community and to never stray from that purpose and what I do and why I do what I do. Growth is just part of, I think, it's a natural process. I think we all want to grow and see visions and see, look, okay, this is where I want to go. And to see the past year and a half where I was when I first started to where I am today, it's truly like it's a miracle. And I can't wait for what is to come. It is often not revealed, well, this is what I'm going to do 10 years from now. It's more like revealed sometimes in a day, in an hour, it's in a sentence. Ah, okay. And so I'm always eager to see what's next, God. Where do you want me to go? Yeah.
All right. Well, is there anything else I didn't touch on that you wanted to share with us today?
Yeah. Well, I think I mentioned the Edwin's business is just a channel, just a means to get to people, to knock on the door. As a human being, I'm imperfect. I make mistakes and I made a mistake. But one of the things that I like to think that hauling, moving is a separate thing. And then is that I am out there doing the very best to make this world a little bit better, to inspire others, to motivate others. And I think God knows I've been given an opportunity to stand up on a stage and I could see little glimpses of like, this might be something that is happening. So I'm separate from Edwin's Hauling Services. That's part of me, but it's not. So, anyways, thanks.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Thank
Uh,
you. Well, thank you so much again for coming in and making the time to talk to me about what you do. I know that our audience is going to love it. So thank you
I'm
so much
excited.
again, Edwin.
You are welcome.